the ballet, yeah, they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took Melody to see Peter Pan a couple of years ago. She absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just right.
Grace, how wonderful to see you. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a stage performance. Yeah.
We took them to see, we took them to see a ballet. They did all right. But it was a brief. They were really great. A lot of narration, a lot of explanation. They did. No, not for Hamilton, but for the ballet, for the Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it was a little abbreviated. No.
You're getting them
Two
on
different shows.
two different shows.
Yeah, so he's gonna dive in.
You're adopting. Somebody's got it, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, loved it. It was awesome. Loved it. We saw you. Where were you? We were up there. You were sitting on the stage. You were up to the right, like that. Okay. Well, we liked our seats, but when they did this all renewed on Sunday afternoons, because I'm getting old. So, but of course, I went to
I will tell you one additional reason for me to have you down is I'm looking at the time and what's been going on at home and trying to figure out if I need to head out early.
All right, well.
I'll talk and make sure everybody we're up to date. This is the list. These are our lists.
This is,
And yeah.
this is the Yortzeit
The Yortzeit
list.
list here,
And this is
our-
the people who have
That's
passed
the
away.
past year.
All right.
And Pam, we're just past her fifth Sivan, would be
Yeah,
less than 11 months away.
that's
so
good. And you don't have anyone to add on to make up for it, which is always good. All right,
We're probably going to start around page 10.
10. Two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have a minion, folks. All right, let's start the service. We sing in unison on page 10. Page 10. Yedid nefesh avarach 10. I said 10 about 5 times. So that. Yedid nefesh avarach amon meshuch avdoch el ritzonach yarutz avdoch kemo ayil yishtachave muhadarach ki erav lo yedidutoch minafesuv v'chol ta'am hador noeh ziv olam nafshi cholat ahavatach ana el na lo v'haros lo na'am didach az titchazek v'titrapeh v'hoitalo shivtach olam vati yechemu rachamecha v'chusna al bein ahavach ki ze kamach nichsav lirod tiferet uzach ana eli machmad libi chushana al titalam agolena ufros haviv olai et sukat shalomach ta'ir eretz mikvodach nagila v'nismachabach macher achuv kiva moed v'chaneni kimei olam Page 11 in Hebrew, in unison. L'chu neranana l'Adonai noriya l'tzor yeshenu nekadma fanav b'todah bizmiro noriya lo nekadma fanav b'todah bizmiro noriya lo ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim Asher biyadav makarei oretz v'tofat harim lo. Asher biyadav makarei oretz v'tofat harim lo. Asher lo yom. Arba'im shana ba'kud ba'ador v'omar amta elavevchem v'chem lo yadu darachai asher nishbati ba'afi im yivun el menuchati. Page 13. Shiru ladonoi shir chadash, shiru ladonoi kol oretz, shiru ladonoi baruch shemo, basru mayom layom yeshuato, safru bagoyim kevodo, b'chol amim nifloto, ki gadol Adonai, chulo ma'od, no road, I, I'll call Elohim, I, ki Elohe, hamayim elilim, Adonai shemayim asa, hodo v'chadar lefanov, obiti feret b'mikdasho, havu ladonai mishpachot amim, havu ladonai kavod va'oz, havu ladonai, Kavod Shemo, Su'umin Chai, Uva'ul Hatzrotov, Ishtachavu Ladonai B'chadrat Kodesh, Hilu Mipanav Kol Oretz, Imru Bagoyim Adonai Moloch, Av Tikon Tevel Baal Timot, Yadiv Amayim B'Meshorim, Yismechu HaMashamayim V'Togel Ha'orez, Hiram Hayom Umelo, Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol Asher Bo, Az Yiranenu Kol Atze Ya'ar, Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpod Ha'orez, Yishpo Tevel B'Tzedek Ve'amayim Emunanato I Page 15, we read responsibly in English. Adonai reigned, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice. Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth. Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, your righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. Let's see here. What would Sharon do? The Hebrew on page 19, the last two lines, many of you have heard this song and sung it before. The last two lines in Hebrew on page 19. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahadom rak lav kadoshu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahadom rak lav kadoshu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahadom rak lav kadoshu. Page 21. Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod ba'os, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'chadrat hakodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'akoach, Kol Adonai bechador, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vashaber Adonai et arze havonon, Vayarkideim kemo egel, Levanon v'sirion, kemo vein re'edmim. Kol Adonai chosev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yachol elayolod, vayechesov ye'arod, uvechelo kulo omer kavod. Adonai l'mabu yoshav vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam Adonai os le'amo yitain Adonai yevorech et amo v'shalom. Page 22, responsively in English, page 22. If you would, may your mighty right hand undo the knot that ties us up. Almighty, if you would guard as the apple of your eye those who seek your unity. Mighty Holy One, in your abundant goodness, guide your people. Listen to our pleas, hear our cries, knowing the hidden depths within us. Page 23, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nikabela, Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibor Echad, Hishmiyanu El Hamyuchad, Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad, L'Shem U'Letiferet V'Lit Hilah, L'Echad Dodi L'Krat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabela, L'Krat Shabbat L'Chuvan Ilcha, Ki hi mikor habracha, merosh mikeden nesucha, sof maaseh machshava tehila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzei mitoch hachafecha, rav loch shevet be'emek habacha, V'hu yachamo olaychem lo, lecha dodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, hitra ari me'afor kumi, livshi bigdei tifartei chami, ayad ben yishai beit halachmi, karva el nafshi ga'ala, lecha dodi lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat kabela, hitorari, kiva ore kumi ori, shir daberi, kivod Adonai olayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, lo te'oshi v'lo tichomi, Ma tataktachi u'ma techemi, v'ach yechesu aniei ami, v'nikta ir al tila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, v'hayu l'shimsa shosayich, v'roch haku kol mivalayich, yosis alayich Elohayich, Kim sod chatan al kala, lecha dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela, yomin ushmo tifrotzi, Eid Adonai ta'aritzi, al yad ish ben partzi, ben ismecha v'nagila, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela, Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzahala, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Page 28 of the Psalm for Shabbat. Ki hinei avecha Adonai, ki hinei avecha Yavedu. Tzadikata hamor yifrach, ke'erez bavanon yeske, Shetolim bebeit Adonai, bechatzrod Eloheinu yahafrichu, od yenuvon beseva, deshenim v'ra'ananim yeyu, lahagid ki asrar Adonai, Tzori v'lo avlatabo. Page 29, Adonai Meloki who's Levei, 8 Leveis. Edotecha nemun ma'od leveitcha nava kadosh Adonai, Kodesh Adonai, Edotecha Lemon Ma'od, Levet Chonav Kodesh Adonai, Adonai La'orech Yomihim. Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gedal V'Yit Gedal Shemei Rabbah. Yoma Divrach Hirutei V'Yelech Malchutei. V'chayechon V'Yemeichon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'golav Yizman Kariv V'Yemru. Amen. Yehesh Shemei Rabbah V'Vorach La'olam Amei Omaya. Yitbarach V'Yishtavach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnasei. Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shemei Dekudashah. Elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, tamiram v'yomah v'yamaru. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yel kol Yisrael v'yamaru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamo, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'yel kol Yisrael v'yamaru. Amen. We start now with the main evening service on page 39A. Please remain standing or rise, whatever is appropriate. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvoro. Baruch haram baruch le'olam voed. You may be seated. Umar bir yom uvein laila, umabdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayom tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam voed, baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv arabim. Page 40. Ahavat olam ve'ed Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu uvkumenu, nosiach b'chukecha v'nismak v'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam voed, ki chen chayenu v'yorech yomeinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla v'adcha al tasir mimenu la'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'derech Uv'shachbacha uv'kumecha uv'kashartam la'ot al yodecha v'hayu l'tatafot b'einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha v'hayayim. Adonai Elohechem Emed, page 43A. And call those on. U'malchuto kiblu alehem, Moshe Miriam b'nei Yisrael, l'chon anu shira, b'simcha v'abra v'yamru chulam, mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedor b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, machutoru v'necha b'keim l'fnei Moshe, ze'eleonu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam bo'ed, v'ne'emar kifad Adonai Yaakov, u'galo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch Adonai, Goal Yisrael. We'll read in unison on page 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, our God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 46, we rise for Bashomru, followed by the Chatzi Kaddish. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam idai beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yomim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinofash Yitgadal v'yitgadal Shemei Rabbah v'yamod divrach erute v'yamlich machute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agola, uvizman kori v'yemaru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam me'omayo, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitbar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalol, shemei dekudasham. Le'elo min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yolama v'yemaru. Amen. Remain standing for the Amida. It's recited silently throughout from page 47 through page 52. turn to page 53 for the symbolic repetition or recapitulation of the Amida. Please rise. Vayacholu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzivom vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i malakto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol malakto asher asa vayavorech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto kivo shavat mikol malakto Asher bara Elohim la'asod Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Hoel Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Konei Shemayim v'Oretz Mogen Avot Bidvaro Mechaye Meitim B'Mamaro Ein HaKadosh Ein Kamohu Hameni Ale'amo Yom Shabbat Kodsho Kivom Rotza Lehaniach Lahem Kivom Rotza Lehaniach Lahem Lefanav na'avod v'yira v'fachad v'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid miyon habrachot el ha'hodaot Adon Adon Hashalom Mekadesh HaShabbat Umvarech Shvi'i Umeniach B'Kedusha Le'amidus ne'oned zecher l'maseh v'reishit Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu ritzei b'mnochatenu ka'chen b'mitzvotecha v'tein chalkenu v'toratecha sabeinu mituvecha v'samchenu b'yeshuatecha v'taher libeinu l'avdecha b'emet V'achilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'yava uvratzon Shabbat kodshecha v'nuchu vo Yisrael mekadeshei shemecha Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah b'yamod yivrochi rutev yamlech malchutei b'chai yechonu v'mechon v'chai dechol beit Yisrael b'agol v'zman kari v'yimeru Ein yehei shmei Rabbah mavorach Le'olam ha'olmei omaya yitmorach Yitbarach yishtavach yitpa'ar v'yirma v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitalev v'yilol shmei d'kudasham Le'elo mikol birchato v'shirato tushbachato v'nechamoto dami ram b'yolmo v'yimeru Titgavel tzalahon avutahon K'dachol Yisrael kadam avahon divishmaya v'yimeru Yesh lo v'rav ben shemaya b'chaim Olena v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru Hosei shalom bimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom oleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom oleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, shalom oleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimeru, amen. Oh, okay. You can only go one way. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yavo v'ratzonin kalanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila l'mikroi kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'charta, v'atanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. As Rabbi Pharaoh is not in the building. Okay, can you help us out with the Omer?
Well, the question is, what do you want to do? It's not, the proper time to count the Omer from 3 stars is not yet. We can do one of 2 things. We can wait until after the service, until after her finishes, by then it will probably be close to the time. Or we can do what we usually do in services here when we are really good stars, which is count the day that is now passing without a bracha, and you will draw the necessary inferences from that. So, is that okay?
Yeah, let's do the second version, the second one.
So, Hayom, Tisha B'Esher Yom Shem, Haba Ashkol Yom Echad Omer. Today, meaning Friday, 29th day of the Omer, making 4 weeks and 1 day.
Thank you. We arise for Olenu. Olenu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekedu la liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishbachot hadamon, shelo sam chelkenu gohem, vigor olenu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, umishachim umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kakatu b'tortecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam voed, v'ne'emar, v'hoya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, Shemo, u'shemo, echad. U'shemo echad. Before we recite Mourner's Kaddish, I want to bring to your attention the people whose yortzeit are this week. There are 4, let's see. There are 2 people observing yortzeits today. Albert Shapiro, Angela Molko, the mother of Grace Lair, and later in the week, the yortzeit, remember Hyman S. Bergstein, Gloria Singerman, Jack Roth, Gwendolyn Schlesinger Ferguson, S. David Freeman, Blanche Wise, David Hinnitz, father of Connie Hinnitz, Bertha Flignor, the mother of Candy Gellin, Eddie Hare, the husband of Penny Hare, Dan Geyer, cousin of Julie Pentelnick, Flora Schwartz, the mother of Lois Gallen, and Hubert Hurst, father of Kristen Hurst. We also remember those members of our congregational family who have passed away in the last 11 months: Hal Schneider, Rosemary Bloom, Abe Ogman, Russell Mason, Judy Kell, Yuri Schockler, Eddie Sakes, Mary Jane Harry, Herschel Ostrov, Francis Rothschild, Herb Ash, Ron Savage, and Isaac Rethy. All who are more. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Mornis Kaddish, Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shemay Rabbah. Yalma Divrachirute, Biamlech Malchute, Bachai Chon, Vilmei Chon, Bachaye, the whole Beit Yisrael, Bagol, Isman Korib, Yimru. Ishmei Rabbah, Barak, Yolam, Lema, Yit Barak, Yishtabach, Yit Ba'ar, Yit Ramam, Yit Naseh, Yit Adar, Yit Alev, Yit Alol, Shemay the Kudusha. Elah, Min Kol Birchata, Vishirata, Tushbachata, Venechamata, Dami Rom, Beomo, Beimru. Yehi Shlomo Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chaim, Aleinu, V'yel Kol Yisrael, Beimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'mamav, Huya Oseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yel Kol Yisrael, Beimru. Amen.
I will make my way up here for announcements. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I know that you're all wondering where our rabbi is. He was here earlier. There was an emergency that came up, and he apologizes for needing to leave early tonight. We have a jam-packed weekend. Of course, tonight we're very much looking forward to what Herb has to say about baseball, whatever it is. Tomorrow we look forward to the ufruf of our own Ilana Pentelnik. On Sunday we have a number of activities going on, of course starting with morning minyan. Starting at 11 until 3 in the afternoon, we will have petitions available for the counties of Hamilton, Butler, Warren, Claremont, and any others. For those of you who are interested and willing to sign the petition to get an issue regarding reproductive rights on the ballot in this coming fall, that will also during that time period, beginning at 1 o'clock, our rabbi will be giving a talk on Jewish tradition, reproductive rights, and when life begins, and I think that will be very interesting. In the evening, Men's Club has its once-a-month movie, which, and I don't recall the title of it, The Orchestra of Exiles. I think it should be very good.
Fabulous. If you haven't seen it, it will really, it's amazing.
Okay, so for those of you who couldn't hear, Sonia has said with exclamation points, many of them, that the film is just great. If you haven't seen it, see it. If you have seen it, it's worth seeing again. We have a whole host of activities going on throughout the rest of May. I want to add two that are not yet up on the screen. First of all, we will do a board and officers installation, a very short one, that will be part of our service on May the 20th. We know that we will have a Leil Shabbat or Leil Shavuot on Thursday evening as Shavuot starts at the end of the month. Then on Friday of Shavuot, both Claire Lee and I will be sponsoring a potluck dairy lunch, and the location for the potluck will be here at the synagogue. There will be more details to follow. Everything else is commentary. You can read about it either on the screen out front or in the announcements.
People may not be aware of the fact that there will be a minyan this Tuesday evening at 7 p.m.
Yes, there will be. And that's another important thing. There will be a yahrzeit minyan. I will be saying Kaddish in memory of my father, so Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Anybody that can show up, we would definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Rabbi. Any
Reservations in for our big event on Sunday, May 21st that are allowed.
And we have many, many more announcements that we could be doing. So I would ask that we talk later about it and then turn the program over to Herb, who will tell us all sorts of great things about baseball. and it is great to see everybody here tonight.
Just once I'd like to hear the president get up and say, there's nothing really going on this week.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
It
just
will never happen.
never happened. Not at Northern Hills.
Not a chance.
Not even in the middle of summer, the dog days of summer. There's something going on. Yigdal on page what? Should know this by heart. I think it's on page 62. Thank you. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yesh tabak nifso v'yein el metziyuto echad v'yein yochid yichudo elav v'gam ein sof le'achduto elo demuta guf v'yein aguf u'na arok elav kedushato yidron l'chol ador asher nivra v'shom v'yein reshit l'reshito hino adon olam Elo Tzor, Regadulato, Malchuto, Shevanuato, Nitano, Elanshe Segulato, Vitifarto, Lakam Yisrael, Kimoshe Od, Naviu Mabid, Et Munato, Taratim et Notan, Liamo El, Ayad Navio, Neman Beito, Lakalifo El, Below Yamirdato. Leolamim l'zulato tzofev yodea sito reinu mabit l'sof tavar v'kad mato gomel ish chesed k'mi fa'alo noten l'rash hara karishato yishlach t'ketz yomin v'shichenu lifto m'chake kesh yeshuato medim ha'el v'rov chasdo Baruch Adean, Shem Tehilato, Meti Michael, Berov Chasdo. Baruch Adean, Shem Tehilato. Herb, Casey Brass here. What's that? Batter up. If you start screwing up, I'll just get a relief picture. We finish them on one.
Okay. Hear me okay? Okay. So, in reality, I put together something that I didn't expect to when I started to do this. And it turns out Major League Baseball has dramatically changed how they do business in many ways this year. And so I thought I'd go through some of those, and I think you'll see and you'll realize what's going on. And first thing, there's a pitch clock, and there are bigger bases, and the infielders can't shift, which they were able to do previously. The objection of the game is to get it to go more quickly, and actually that does work. The number of some of the games are less than 2 hours. Now there's a pitch timer. Say that again.
Nothing's less than 2 hours in a game.
Okay, how about 2 hours and a minute? I know it is, but it is less than it has been. There's a pitch clock, which is really the biggest change. Between when you the one team goes off and the other one gets going, it's 2 hours. It takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to go to get everything going, okay? And between batters, when one goes up, it's 30 seconds. Between the pitchers, with the bases empty, to throw their pitches is 15 seconds, and if there are men on base, it's 20 seconds. There are restrictions on the pitcher. He must begin his motion before he before the clock goes out, and he must disengage the rubber, which is on the mound, and then the time resets. There's twice per plate in terms of the appearances, the time per plate, and he reacts if there are any runners on bases and all that sort of stuff. And the restriction is a restriction on the batter. He must be in the batter box looking to the pitcher at least 8 seconds beforehand, and 1 timeout per plate per appearance. The rules are not used necessarily when they go to the baseball classic and the other things. But really, what's going on is there's a dramatic difference, which I didn't realize, as you may have, but I hadn't realized. It's very much different this year than it has been previously. So I just thought I'd just do that quickly. Do you want me to go into some depth or no?
Not about the rules,
No.
What if there's a violation? What happens?
Well, you might get thrown out. You might have a balk. Those kinds of things.
What if the pitcher takes too long? What happens?
automatic ball.
It will be a ball.
Oh, it'll be a ball.
Yes. Yeah. I don't. I know it's happened previously. I don't know whether it's happened today. Yeah.
And if the batter takes too long, it's a strike?
Yeah. Any other questions? But really, I was stunned when I went through and looked at this, because I didn't, and I'm repeating, but I didn't realize how things have changed this year. And I don't know that a lot of people realize that. I know I didn't. And so when you watch a game, it's a good idea to just look at some of the things we just talked about and see how it goes. Okay?
High score at the end of 9 innings,
Go to the, it's the same way. You go to 10 innings.
but each team gets a runner on second base?
That's right, yes.
That's not new this year, didn't happen last year as well.
Yeah, it happened last year, yes. Any other questions? Talk a little louder, Don, please.
The pitcher can only throw to first base to keep the runner close.
Twice, yeah, that's right.
So that's basically inviting the base.
Yeah. And in fact, the stolen bases are way up this year. That's right. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Wait, I thought you were talking about juice and baseball.
Say that again?
I thought you were talking about juice and baseball.
Well, I talked about that twice before.
I know.
And I decided I didn't want to talk about choosing baseball anymore.
Okay.
And so I did this.
Attorneys in baseball, how's that?
Well, that'd be better. Yeah. And actually, when you look at it, there are 20-plus Jews that come in the last couple of seasons who have been in the major leagues. And I could have talked about it, but it would just repeat things you've heard. Yes, Connie.
Before our service began, I jokingly said to her, we should liken the changes in baseball to what has happened to Judaism through the ages. And are we observing a reform baseball, a conservative baseball, or an orthodox baseball? And are there ones we should be avoiding because they're so far out of the pale? And will the changes actually improve?
And actually, the changes are improving.
For whom?
Well, I think for everybody.
So is it to make a better viewing experience?
Yeah, it's shorter. The people don't have to sit in the stands as long and whatever.
So do the players like them also?
I think so. I listened to somebody on the radio today, and
Used to the idea, though, I heard that, that they have to speed things up.
the deal is some of them actually go into the dugout and go to sleep. And that's really that. And they're more able, not in the dugout, but in the locker room, some of them really do go to sleep. And they're better the next day, they're better the same day, and
I mean, the reality is, you're getting to a youth, let's face it, the kids, at least the kids of my kids' generation, are not into baseball.
oh, well, yes.
You know, I recall watching, you know, they have Seinfeld reruns on almost all hours of the day, and one of the subplots in Seinfeld was, this is of course a show in the 90s, was about Jerry played softball, and something went wrong on the softball game. You know, and I think if you're doing a show nowadays, you wouldn't be talking about softball or baseball, because the kids of that generation are really into basketball and football. Baseball, it's just trailing off in the distance. And out of the great concern, I mean, baseball games were tending to go 3.5 hours, way beyond the attention span of a mere human.
That's right.
And the sense being that they were losing support in the country, and that they had to do something.
Yes, that's part of it.
Finally, and gave them an experiment. And this year, I mean, I think the pitch clock is probably the single most important one, because the pitcher can't sit there picking his butt indefinitely, and just to need to speed up the games for the fan experience, because otherwise you weren't going to have a fan base to watch the game.
Yep. Don?
Getting back to the idea of Jewish baseball players, I've mentioned the story a million times. My father, the second cousin, played Major League Baseball
I think I knew that, yeah.
in the 30s and 40s.
What was his name?
And you can look him up. His name was Morris Arnovich, Arnovich.
Yeah.
He's from Wisconsin. And he played in the late 30s, and he played with the Reds on the championship World Series in 1940. He had a couple of hits.
Right.
And you can look it up. There was an article in the Israelite in 1939 or 40 where he was going to be the guest of honor at Jewish Center picnic and someone on the west side, and he was going to sign autographs.
That's why when the mascots of the Reds come go around.
And you look them up in the baseball encyclopedia, they're bios. He's the only Jewish baseball player to keep kosher on the road. So when you go, you play baseball, you consider keep kosher.
Yeah. But going back, really, the baseball has changed a lot. And that's the point I really wanted to make, and I think it's going to change again, based on what happens this year. But it's just, I was very surprised, and I think it's a good thing. The games are shorter. The people in the stands are not sitting there with their yawning as much, and so on. Okay, thank you.